Bangladesh's government will formally accept the Supreme Court's order against quotas on government jobs after a lower high court had reinstated them, triggering mass protests across the country. The Supreme Court Appellate Division on Sunday annulled a High Court decision and had directed Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina's government that jobs will be open to candidates on merit, without quotas. Nearly 150 people have been killed in violent demonstrations across the country during clashes between the protesters and the Bangladeshi law enforcement agencies. The protesters wanted authorities to overturn the High Court's last month verdict that allocated nearly 60% of government jobs for some people, such as families of those who fought in the 1971 war. Following the court ruling, the student group leading demonstrations that have spiraled into deadly violence suspended protests on Monday for 48 hours, with its leaders saying they had not wanted reform at the expense of so much blood. However, the student group leading the protest has given the government 48 hours to meet 8 demands, such as a public apology from Hasina and the reopening of university campuses shut when the violence began. Calm prevailed in the capital, Dhaka, and most major cities for a second day amid a curfew and an internet and telecoms shutdown the government imposed after the protests erupted last week. However, the security situation is still not entirely under control, the army chief, who toured the capital by helicopter on Tuesday morning, told reporters. Meanwhile, officials have said that curfew is to be relaxed for 4 hours in the afternoon to allow people to buy essentials. The acceptance is expected to be published in the government's formal record on Tuesday, media said, meeting one demand made by protesters. A day earlier, Prime Minister Hasina blamed her political opponents for violence and said the curfew, imposed on Friday, would be lifted whenever the situation gets better.